You might be one of those who, a couple of days ago, called for the leveling of that community because the corpses of soldiers were found, soldiers were killed. And maybe you haven't taken to Twitter to celebrate what basically is happening to those communities, but you may be celebrating already. Yes, they are teaching them a lesson and all of that. I think that's a bit inconsistent. Even if we had a law that called for that, which we don't. The simple reason is because if it is the fact that the resolve of the Nigerian army was put to test, you could come to another region of the country, at least where the Nigerian Defense Academy is located. A group attacked the Defense Academy, killed people and abducted officers. Of course, it's not child's play to also shoot down a military jet. It has happened. It's also not child's play to lay ambush and kill tens because of military. So as far as the killing of soldiers is concerned in Nigeria, this is not the first time, and this is not even the worst case. But then it leaves us with the question of why is this particular issue different? You will check on Twitter, you would notice that most of the people calling for the annihilation of that community are deliberately moving away from asking how did the soldiers get killed? What was the nature of the conflict they went to fix? What exactly was the problem? And to my fellow brothers and sisters in the Middle Belt, something similar to the case of General Alkali. His corpse was just found in a community, and nobody wants to know what happened. The whole idea was that go and level the community and kill everybody. So it's a trend that most of us don't want to confront, but that's just the truth. And there are those that, for the sake of objectivity, are willing to act like people that lack conscience, so that they just appear they are different from the crowd. They have a certain view that is not very popular and all of that. I think it is dumb. I think it is inhuman. I think it's satanic. You could have been the one with your wife and your children in that community when that happened, and then it's locked up, and then you are killed, and possibly your corpse, maybe while you were by your mother's well fetching water, will be displayed as a militant and all of that. So I think it's quite important to try to understand what our security operatives have been reduced to. Is it professionally their position to act this way? Has our system as a nation been rigged such that even their strength, even their aggression, even their activities are turned against us, the very people they are supposed to protect? And I'll give you one last example. In Mangu in May 2023, something far worse than the Christmas Eve attack took place that claimed about 400 lives. Rather unfortunately, not one of those criminals, not one of those Islamists that killed those, that raided that Christian community and left that mass casualty has been brought to book. But then a story just popped out, and they said an Ardo went missing. And before we knew what was happening, the very vigilante that were struggling to protect what was left of their village got killed. And then they pushed out a narrative that they are the same criminals that did that. And then after the Christmas Eve attack, the same thing happened. Someone said they found the corpse of some Fulani people, and then they went to the same community that the massacres took place, and they arrested people. So we should take a step backward and try to understand what exactly is happening. Why is the narrative different? You would see the same soldiers that are doing what they are doing in that southern community. You would see a video where they are providing safe covers for people that they prefer to refer to as bandits. And the bandits, if you would watch a documentary where a bandit was complaining about how they are treated as Fulani people, how their cows are not catered for, how they suffer, how people take over their cattle routes and all of that. And then they went to pick 300 girls. And then after negotiations, they were paid 60 million. Lo and behold, the man was asked, what did you do with the 60 million? He said they bought more arms. So I'm one of those that believe we do not have bandits, we do not have kidnappers. We have jihadists that want to run over the country, even though their focus is currently in the Middle Belt, and they have adopted banditry and all of these things to raise funds. These are the people we should call for their total annihilation. Unfortunately, they are in love with our security agencies, at least from a video that the military has not disputed yet, where somebody was calling Sunusi to tell everybody on the road to clear the way that Fulani are passing. How do you deal with a case like that in one part of the country and then annihilate a community in another part?